All right. What's up, everybody? How you feeling today? What's today? Thursday. Thursday. Let's go. Let's get up and rock and roll. My name is Mark. It's Mark in the morning and a little Bible in the bathroom time. Bible in the bathroom. So glad you're here with us. If you don't get to watch this whole clip on the reel or the story because they're short, you can check it out on my Facebook, my Instagram, my TikTok, and please like and follow too whenever you can. So we can connect a little more often. Okay, that'd be great. Let's see. Today's topic is judging, and I got a little story for you on judging. Are you a judge? Do you judge other people? I think we all do. Do you judge traffic? Like look at that guy. He just cut that other guy off. Or do you judge people's appearance? Look at that girl, that dress. She shouldn't be wearing that. Or what about that guy over there? Look at him. He's overweight. He's way overweight. Okay. We're born judges. I think that's kind of like in our DNA, and maybe we get it from our mom and dad. I don't know, but what I can tell you is my first year at church, walking my first year on my journey with Jesus at Crossing Church was Pastor Shane was up there talking about some stuff, and it was one of the biggest lessons, one of my first lessons. I go to church every Sunday. I have 100 appointments a week, but church is the most important of all of them. I don't care what it is. Any appointment I got, number one is Sunday morning. I get up and I get over there and I get the word, okay? And I absorb that like a sponge. And so I go to church every Sunday to get the word, and it's my one favorite day of the week. And every year, every Sunday, there's 52 Sundays in a year, and every year is not a bullseye for me, the message. Sometimes the message is like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then other times it's kind of like, well, that's kind of, relevant today for me. And other times it's like, OMG, is the pastor talking about me? This is my life right now. This is what I'm going through. It's like a bullseye. I call those golden nuggets, okay? I don't get one every week, but I do get about five or six a year. And I log them in my journal. I put them in my journal, and at the between Christmas and New Year's every year, I kind of look at those five, and I see in the whole year, I kind of reassess the whole year and what I learned. What's the biggest takeaway from my my journey with Jesus in this last year? Well, the first year I did that, it was 13 years ago, and it was judging. So today we're going to talk about judging. Matthew 7:1-5 says, Jesus says, judge not in that you may not be judged. So why do you see the speck in a brother's eye, but you don't even see the log in your own eye? This is the words of Jesus, okay? Honestly, the red letters in the Bible. The Bible advises against hypocritical and condemning judging, but does not forbid all forms of judgment or discernment. Jesus' teaching to judge not, lest you be judged, again, the one I just read, highlights the importance of self-reflection, warning against ignoring one's own faults while criticizing others. What is that? When Mary Magdalene and everybody wanted to stone her in the city, and Jesus said, let he who has never sinned cast the first stone. We've all judged. We've all made mistakes. In fact, we're all sinners, one way or the other. As they say, there's only one man that walked the earth that never sinned, and that was Jesus. But other than that, all have fallen short of the glory of God. Christians are called to judge actions and discern, though, between true and false teachings based on their fruit, but must also do so with humility and love, ensuring they are not acting with self-righteous or partiality. Now, my first experience when judging, when I realized I was a judge, I was in church and I was sitting, I think, 2 or 3 rows back, and back then, they, back in the day, 13 years ago, they passed a little tray, passed the tray for tithing and collections, and they'd call the ushers forward, and they'd pass a tray, and I'm sitting in the middle because I like to be right there where I can see what's going on. So out of the corner of my eye, I'm seeing the tray coming down the road here, and I'm looking on my right, out of the corner of my eye, and my peripheral vision, and no one's putting any money in. And he gets to me, and I put in my 10 or 20 bucks or whatever, and then I pass it. I'm looking out this side, and no one's putting any money in again there. And I'm like, after a few weeks of this, I said, what's up with that? Just because I have a job, am I the only one with any money around here with 10 bucks or 20 bucks? So then one day, and I was judging all these people like, it's just weird that nobody's putting money in except me. I felt weird in my row. I just thought, okay, that's weird, and I don't know what's going on. But then I heard the pastor Shane say on the stage, and this had been about a year into my going every Sunday, my first year. And Pastor Shane stood up on the stage. He said, "So we're going to call the ushers forward to gather some tithing. If you feel ready to do that, if you feel okay with that, please. We'll be passing the trays around." He said, "But there's also 4 other ways to. You can put an envelope in the back of the box on your way out. You can also tithe online." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, when did they start that? That would make it easy." So I went up to my pastor. And afterwards, Pastor Shannon said, "When did you start this online thing?" He said, "Mark, we've been doing this for years. You just haven't been listening every Sunday." I went, "Oh my gosh." So here I am judging everybody on my left and on my right, and I just wasn't listening. So now I'm online, and I don't put any money in the tray because it's all automatic. In fact, it's auto. It just hits my credit card every month, and I don't have to pull it out my pocket and pull any money out because I'm doing online too. And I'm like, OMG, what a ding dong I was. What a judge. Then I see another thing happen in church, and I'm watching around, and people are in front of me and beside me, and I saw this girl on her Facebook while the pastor's talking. I'm like, how rude. How rude. She's on her Facebook playing on her phone while the pastor's talking. And then I looked over to my left, and there's a guy over there, and he's on his phone. I'm thinking, everybody's on their phones here. They're not just playing around during church time. I put my phone on silent. I put it in my pocket. No vibration, no nothing. I'm just giving my pastor my full attention. But these people are playing on their cell phones. I'm like, what's up with that? Well, then I heard the pastor Shane say up on stage, he was talking about a verse in the Bible, and he says, "So if you have your Bibles with you, please open to this verse, chapter whatever, verse whatever. Or if you have the Bible app on your phone." Oh man! I went up to Pastor Shane after that, and I said, "Pastor Shane, when did you start this? When does app start?" He said, "It's been there all along, Mark. You just weren't listening." Oh, wow! And that's when I realized my takeaway from both of those experiences was what a judge I am. What a judge! And I had to stop it. I had to stop it. You can't. We judge we judge what we don't know. That's what we judge. We judge what we don't know, and that's what I was doing. And I was condemning them. I was being hypocritical, and I had no right to do that. And I was so I apologized to God, and everybody said, "That's it. I'm an idiot. I'm a bad guy. I'm a judge. I don't want to be a judge no more." So that's when I really opened up my heart and my mind to listen and pay attention in church and start gathering and soaking up the information. And that's what happened to me. It was a heck of a learning. It was, I think it was 2012, and I had to learn how to quit judging. And I did. And now I get it. I get it. I was probably one of the worst judges I know, but no more. But there's 2 kinds of judging, and there's one to avoid and one to practice. So let me wrap up with this. Judgment to avoid is a hypocritical judgment, like I was doing, okay, judging others without recognizing my own faults and condemning them. Condemning judgment, the Bible discourages judgment attitudes that are harsh, self-righteous, or that sentence others eternally. I was that guy too. And last, but it was hasty or incomplete judgment. Okay, making weighty judgments without all the facts and considering foolish and shameful. That was me. I was hasty and incomplete judgment. However, good judging is good. So if you see a woman that's a pretty dress, there's nothing wrong to say, "Wow, that's a beautiful dress on you." That's judging, but that's judging in a positive way, right? Or, "Wow, dude, what a nice car, man. You look good in that car. Let me get a picture of you in your new car." That's judging, but in a good way, and complimenting. Judging with compliment, uplifting judgment. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And the Bible, they say the judgment to practice is a few of them are righteous judgment. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And loving judgment. Righteous judgment, the Bible directs believers to judge with righteous judgment, not based on appearance, but on true understanding of God's standards. And loving judgment is when you're correcting others, particularly fellow believers. It should be done with truth and love and not in a way that berates or condemns. So, and there's a lot more you can add to loving judgment. But like I was saying earlier, self-judgment. It's crucial to first remove the plank from your own eye to gain clarity before you judge others. So when you're condemning somebody because they got a splinter in their eye, you might have a log in yours and you just can't see what's going on. And last is another good one is discerning judgment. Christians are called to exercise discernment, particularly in identifying false prophets by their actions known as their fruits. So there's bad judging and good judging. I'm a good judge now. I'm just going to compliment you and I'm going to uplift you. I'm going to empower you when I see you. I'm gonna not rip anybody apart anymore. I'm not gonna, if something doesn't seem right to me, it's because I don't know. I'm missing some data. So I'm never gonna do that again. Judging, if you find yourself in that same situation, hopefully you too will think about good judging instead of bad judging. Okay. So I don't even care if it's my enemies. I'm gonna compliment them. Okay, I'm gonna love my enemies. I'm gonna judge them up. I'm not gonna judge people down. I'm gonna judge them up. That's my new thing. Judge them up. Judge them up. Lift people. Empower people. Be a good judge. And if you want to talk about judging, give me a call, 702-497-5715. That's my cell. You can reach me 7 days a week, except for church. I turn it off. I still do that. Other than that, I love talking God anytime, anywhere. And if you do give me a call or you text me, just know, no matter what the topic is, I won't judge you because I love you. I love you. I love God. I got to rush off. We're doing a big speech today at the Christian Business Network. I'm so excited. I'm the keynote speaker. We're talking about the top 10 ways to bring God into your business. And they asked me to talk. This is so wild. I'm excited. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get some pics and videos and send them to you. Meantime, have a wonderful Thursday, and go out and have fun and spread the word and tell somebody new today that you love them and watch what happens. Maybe try that once in a while, just and compliment and lift somebody up. Start judge somebody, judge somebody up today, and I think you'll get a big smile on their face and yours as well. Meantime, cheers. I'm Mark. Have a nice day.